I'm really interested in hiring at each growth stage. And if we think about early stage startups, those first 5 hires are so critical. What are you assessing for in those first 5 hires and you're bringing them into a chaotic environment?
Everything. The thing about chaos is it's literally that. It's chaotic, right? And so people say, oh, you need to assess for an ability to handle chaos. It might be controversial, but I don't think you can. Until you're in the line of fire, you don't know how someone's going to go. And so often early stage founders, they want someone from Salesforce or Microsoft or one of the big businesses. It's like, oh, you'll bring all this discipline. And there's a fear that if you come from big business, you won't handle startup, but some people will. And conversely, there are some people who've come from one startup and they go to another and the environment's totally different and they're not going to succeed. So, it doesn't give an answer.
Do you need to be a generalist then? Is that what you're assessing for?
I think part of it is a generalist, but I think more so the attitude of like, we'll figure it out. Like, we don't know the answer, because a lot of the time, early stage startups, they're also figuring it out. The founders are figuring it out as well. So you really need somebody on the same page that goes, okay, we don't know how to do this, or we don't know how to do SEO marketing, but let's look it up. I think you need that attitude more so than the actual skill sets in itself.
Often the right answer is, I don't know the answer, but I will find out the answer to the answer as we go along. So yes, you can't really assess for it, but it's sort of an attitudinal thing that comes across sort of in casual conversations.
You've hired a lot of people between you all. What are some of your learnings from some wrong hires that you've made?
I think particularly in a startup, hiring someone that's come from more of like a structured, process-driven environment that have the really strong technical skills, and technical skills don't necessarily need to be, engineering skills. They can be technical skills that are role specific. But, in a startup, there's not a huge amount of processes and there's not a huge amount of structure, and you need to make decisions that require not much direction. So having people that are coming into a startup, we have hired into, and not measured the adaptability and flexibility. And I mean flexibility as in like, we're not hoping you bend over backwards, but flexibility that you're able to kind of move and shift as the company kind of scales. But yeah, I think making sure that you're really kind of measuring those competencies earlier on is really important.
Is that your experience, Michael?
Yeah, I think the thing that you should do with every hire is make it really clear what success looks like and measure that earlier than you might think. Different companies have different lengths of time. Most probation is now probably 6 months. You don't want to be getting to 5 months and 3.5 weeks and going, oh, hang on, can they actually do this? Like, you want to be having those conversations really early. The sooner you start understanding, are they getting to where they want, you can determine, is it that we haven't given them the skills, which is probably likely, and can we help them? Or is it that they're not getting this? Because you'd rather realise someone's the wrong hire in a month and have an awkward conversation and say, this isn't quite working the way we thought and it's not working the way you thought. Can we correct this or not? Then get to that point. And I think lots of businesses have had someone get through probation because they're like, oh, they're getting it. And then at 7 months, you're like, oh, gee, we have to put them on a performance plan. And you don't want to be savage about it, but in that probation period is when you have that like ripcord you can pull. Hey, it's not working. Let's just part as friends.
What's a role that founders consistently hire too early or too late for?
I think a stigmatism within startups and probably any type of company is that other people within the business think that they're able to do that role, if that makes sense. Like, oh, we won't need P&C or people because that's okay. We'll be able to kind of do that ourselves as managers or founders, where it's like, no, there's certain ways that you're able to have difficult conversations and to kind of have those conversations and set managers up for success to have those conversations as well.
I think the role that often people hire too soon and will be controversial to a lot of founders is sales. They think, oh, we've got a product, we've now got to sell it, because if we've got revenue, we can get funding. And if we've got funding, then we can become a unicorn. And too often they bring someone in to go to market with something that's not really ready for market. And good salespeople can sell anything. We've all worked with good ones who could literally sell anything. So they go out, they sell this vision, the product will do all these things, it's great, and then it doesn't realize it, and your revenue projections fall flat. And there's this expectation of, if we hire sales, we'll 10x our revenue in the next year. I think it's the default, often first big hire they make outside of their network, and it's often the one that gets them into the most trouble.
Yeah, kind of not really setting that person up for success either.
Yeah.
Selling a product that doesn't exist
Doesn't
yet.
exist
And
yet.
then you go back to product and engineering and they're like, we can't build this. We can't deliver this on time.
But I told the client we'd have it by Thursday.
That's normal, right?
We've
Yeah.
done that in a previous startup. We went to the whole go-to-market, hired 6-7 people in the US, had them all set up, and then realised all the things that they were selling, our engineering team couldn't even deliver because we weren't set up for US yet. So we had to then reduce that whole team down.